everybody, this is Jeff Veale, the business guru with Stars on Spotlight. Another edition, getting close to Christmas time, guys. A few spots left, so please feel free to reach out. Think about it. TV spot's going to cost you around $30,000, and it's quite likely they'll go and make a cup of coffee while your commercial's on. 10 radio spots are going to set you back between $3,000 and $5,000. Come on, Stars on Spotlight, guys. Totally free of charge. We'll put you across all the major social media channels, some 14 of them, all around the world, and make you more famous than what you already are. And the price is great. It's totally free. We love helping entrepreneurs grow. Speaking of awesome entrepreneurs, we've got someone, is almost like Back to the Future, this gentleman. He's an awesome guy. His name, I've got to pronounce it, get my tongue around, his name is Daniel Sternklar. I got that right, Daniel? Daniel
You
Sternklar?
did.
Did
Very,
it well?
very
Right. And Daniel's an entrepreneur and owner of several companies, including and one you've got to look up, guys. This will blow your mind. View.3D.tv. I'll repeat that
well.
again for you.
View3D.tv.
My eyes are bad, Daniel. I'm in the dark here. Yeah, you're right. View3D.tv. Very easy, guys. View3D.tv. I'm making it hard, but it's actually easy. One last time. View3D View3D.tv. I won't rush it, guys. There it is. And have a look, guys, and be ready to be enthralled. And Daniel's a very great guy. You can reach out to Daniel anytime. He's always up for a chat, and he'll take you through the whole platform. And believe me, it's something that you need and your clients need. Without it, you're being left behind the horse and buggy days. Okay, so a bit more about it. It's industry creating and utilizing technologies to grow your businesses and make them more efficient. Years in the industry, he's only been doing this for 40 years, guy. You think he might know a little bit about it? 40 years, and as you tell himself, still learning as we all are. Every day, AI is adding more elements, so he's still learning. View3D.tv is your results-driven creative business growth facilitator, and we help businesses get known, found, and paid through innovation engineered for growth and profit. So, guys, thinking about that. Key achievements: creating technologies such as interactive video pathways transformed your business into, I'm in the dark here, guys, into a dynamic podcast using AI. We learn about your services and products to craft a compelling script, refine professional writers, choose from audio-only formats with one to many hosts, lifelike avatar hosts, enhanced visuals with B-rolls, or fully interactive video pathways to engage your audience like never before, right? Augmented reality, business cards, practical metaverses, custom AR/VR applications, unveiling conversational AI assistants, and more. With video conferencing capabilities, quick response AI assistants, autonomous AI agents, workflow analysts, saving business from closing, utilizing technology in a practical way to benefit the business, and educating business about technologies, guys. So if you're a techo, you and Daniel will get on extremely well. But he'll take you up to the next level, guys, and show you things you won't believe. Personal motto or philosophy, and he's very true to this: we serve, we care, we educate, we inspire our clients. When we take action, your business gets traction. Now, how good is that, guys? And remember, guys, it's meant to be, it's up to me. No one's coming to save you. Daniel can't save you. I can't save you. You've got to save yourself. And you do that by taking action, right? Every day, every week, all the time, right? Interesting fact about himself is animal lover, a musician, classical pianist, actually, artist, and loves aerobatics. I said acrobatics before. It's aerobatics, right? And he's playing with his pussy at the moment. He's not paying attention. There he is. But over to you. Good evening or good morning in your case, Daniel. It's just on midnight for Daniel. He's been kind enough to come on the show. Good morning, Daniel. How are you, buddy?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Now we're going to get my little bit of paperwork here and we'll get this show underway. This is meant to be fun, and it is. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you all those years ago to pursue what is now still your current career path.
Well, I guess it actually started way back in high school days. I was actually enrolled in a course that was about electronics. And one day a person from digital came in installing computer terminals. And while he was installing them, he was testing them by playing a Star Trek game. And now we're talking way back in the late 1970s.
Right,
So these were terminals that didn't even have a screen. They would print on paper.
right.
And they would print out a little grid of where the Enterprise was, where the Klingons were.
And they were probably
And he was
dot they were
playing.
probably dot metric as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I was really intrigued by this. And then before I knew it, I was learning about programming and was programming applications for the school as they were getting a big computer system in. And so I had a lot of this experience. And I guess we'll try to fast forward a little bit. I also had a great interest in astronomy, aerospace, astronautics.
Awesome.
And I was sort of a glutton for punishment in that I wound up majoring in aerospace engineering and computer science. And I wound up going to the University of Cincinnati because they had a co-op program. So you actually were there for an extra year, but you would actually get a chance to work in industry. I guess what it started, I think, in what, your third year, which I thought was very important instead of just going through the theoretical classes for 4 years and then saying, now what?
Yeah.
You actually got to work in industry. And
So you got to apply
because
it,
of
huh?
yeah,
Cool.
because of my experience in high school, um, it was rather interesting in that I was actually given access there to computer terminals. And I had the type of access that even in some cases graduate students didn't even have. And they sort of would have some remarks to say to me, like, how come you have access and we don't? But I was
Yeah.
helping with research. And probably one of the next pivotal points was when I went to a convention back in Washington, D.C., where I wound up having a co-op job of a government lab that did research. And there was a computer convention there, and this is the beginning of the computer age, home computer age. And there was a company there showing how they could control appliances via computer. And even then, they had
That
some
was ahead of
voice.
its that was ahead of its time, Daniel, even then by a long way, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, they were actually. And I was very intrigued by that. And then I went back to school, and eventually, I wound up joining a user group there. For databases, and I was sort of looking for a higher end way of being able to create applications besides sitting there programming every little line, which took me to database type environments. And I joined a particular group that used a particular database, and I wound up meeting a company there that actually processed grain, and they had all sorts of government regulations to follow, and they had troubles tracking everything that they needed to track. And I wound up doing an application for them. And I got a huge check from them as a result,
Awesome.
like a five-figure check. And for like a college student, it was like getting $1 million.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I was like, wow. And that led to many other consulting jobs because they basically helped spread the word for me. And then at some point, I realized, gee, you know, it's a lot easier to buy a computer than to buy a spaceship.
Yeah.
And that was sort of the fork in the road that turned me more towards doing, or career-wise, getting more involved in technological type computer type applications. And aerospace became more for fun versus a career path.
Fair enough. Tell me why you were so nerdy. Did you have a girlfriend back in those days?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Wow, I'm
Especially
amazed.
after that check, boy, they came out of the woodwork. No,
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, when you got money, you got honey, right?
no, it was. I mean, it was kind of. It was. There were very few people that knew about it. I didn't really tell a lot of people about it.
No, fair enough.
But
What's been the
but
most challenging aspect of your work and how have you overcome that, Daniel, over the years?
well, I think probably, and this is probably something that everyone needs to think about, is how to best communicate what your capabilities are to someone that's not familiar with technology.
Well, that's
And
where the butterfly and caterpillar comes in, doesn't it?
exactly. And a big part of that is listening and learning about, that business person. I believe what needs to happen is you have to have this knowledge exchange take place.
Correct.
As you work with more and more clients, obviously you're also gathering business knowledge, what the typical problems
Correct.
are,
Yes.
and so on. And when you talk to business people, you get people that are all over the map. Some have
Yeah.
very high technical knowledge, but the majority of them, in many cases don't, or at least they don't understand how it could apply to them.
Yes.
And so I believe in education.
Yeah, that's your
When you
job. Yeah.
educate
You got to
when you
you got to
educate
get it across. Yeah.
yeah, so when you educate a person about the possibilities, um, that will get their wheels turning. And because you want to find that intersection between technology and what is practical to actually help that business. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes you might want to do something technological for fun for PR reasons, but a business person is like, well, okay, it's great you can do blah blah blah, but what does that do for my business? And they're looking
Absolutely.
for a
What's bottom line ROI? What's the bottom line? What's the bottom line for me is what they're thinking, isn't it?
exactly what's the return on investment? How will this help me? How will it help me,
Make my
continue to,
life
how will it
easier.
help me even just pay the bills or keep my employees? How will it
Sure.
help me grow?
That's right.
Um, So, so the challenge is learning that side of the business so that you can also educate that person about, oh, well, here's capabilities we have that I think really will help your business. And I think you always need to look at that. Uh, you know, come from the point of view, how can you help? How can you serve that person? Never come from the point of view, oh, I need X dollars to pay a bill next week. You'll
Yes.
never get work. You'll never get work
No, that's right. Do
if
your
that's your
passion.
frame of
The
reference.
money will flow. You help enough people, they say the money will flow. Help others, and you'll be helping yourself. Tell us about an important moment in your career that changed the direction in which you're going, Daniel. What was the pivotal point? I guess you've told part of it to us, but what was the pivotal point that made you change your direction a bit?
Well, I would say that was, and I've had some really funny moments too. For instance, there was one client I was doing consulting with,
Yep,
and I charged a particular rate, and I was actually pretty good friends with the IT manager there.
yep,
And he said to me, "You know what, Daniel, your rates are too cheap. You're making us look bad," because
right.
I was accomplishing things way faster than his own group was at a
Yes,
much cheaper rate. And some of the
yes.
higher ups were apparently there was some rumblings, gee, maybe we should let some people go. And he was like, you know what, you need to raise your rates. I mean, when have you ever had a client tell you you're too cheap, raise your rates? And I
Yeah,
actually
well,
did, and they
yeah.
paid it too. I mean, it's like crazy a situation. I don't know that anyone ever has a story like that, but
No, but pivotal.
that sort of that kind of started to help catapult me to I guess being able to get higher end type clients.
Yeah,
And what was interesting is in some ways, as a I guess I would say as a startup way back in the 70s, we kind of started the reverse, that we actually got enterprise clients first before small
wow.
businesses,
Yeah,
and
nice.
which was quite amazing. And even though the majority, in fact, even today, majority of our work is under non-disclosure agreements, even though we dare not breathe the word of some of our projects, very often the clients do to people they know.
Yeah, fair
And
enough.
so word kind of spread, and then it spread to marketing companies. And before we know it, we basically wound up with our own sales force, um, from
Promoting
other
it.
marketing
Yeah,
companies,
promoting
other
you.
videographers, web developers, other programmers. And we're really in this
Well,
blessed
pretty
position.
much if they realize it, if they got the budget for it and it's not that expensive,
Oh,
from
no,
your rates, um, it's just almost a must-have, not a can-have. It's a must-have, right? It's getting to that stage,
exactly.
right? And if you don't do it, guys, if you don't do it, your competitors will, and then you'll be wondering, oh, why didn't I get the jump on them? They got the jump on me by a long way. I was thinking about pivotal moments. I think about your dad in a piano playing day. You might have become the new Liberace. I thought you might have pivoted and become the piano player.
Well, actually, funny story was when I was applying to colleges,
Yes.
I I actually included a tape of my piano playing.
Awesome.
And I actually, from a couple universities, I actually got unsolicited scholarships if I wanted to take them for going
Music.
into music.
Yeah, awesome.
Um,
That's what I'm saying. It's
yeah,
amazing.
which was pretty crazy. My dad was so proud of that happening,
It would
but
be.
I didn't go that direction.
No, that's
I
what I'm
went
saying. That's
totally
what I
on the
say. It's very pivotal, isn't it? You can. It's
yeah.
like a sliding doors moment, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what would happen if I went the other direction? I
Yeah, well, that's
guess
it.
we'll never know. But yeah, like you say, it's like that
Well,
movie.
you wouldn't be having the fun you're having now, believe me. Tell me,
Yeah.
in your opinion, what are the key qualities and skills that contributed to your success? Obviously, it's a thirst for knowledge in your case.
Oh yeah, I'm totally. It's like William Shatner said in his documentary recently. One of the things that keeps him going is curiosity,
Yes,
and I do have this constant drive of we do an awful lot of software development, creating new technologies in so many different areas in multimedia and AI, augmented reality, virtual reality, and we're always trying to develop something new.
yes.
Um, for me, it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's like a 24/7 job.
I can
In
see
fact, it's
that.
not it's not
That's why you're here at midnight, right? Other people
yeah,
say,
exactly.
I'm not going to do this at midnight." Well, they're not going to succeed either.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not a job. It's like I can't wait to get back to the computer and try this and try that, and
Yeah.
oh, maybe I should try developing this.
You're a very lucky
Um,
person, Daniel. You found your passion, and when it's a passion, guys, it's not work. It's just a lifestyle.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I haven't watched the clock in over 40 years.
Yeah.
In fact, it's often I'm sitting here doing something. It's like, oh wow, look, it's a nice sunny day, and then it's like, oh wow, look, the moon's out, and then it's like, and it's sunny again. I think I forgot to do something somewhere.
Yeah, you're a funny man.
Like, whoops.
Uh, Daniel,
But yeah,
how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field? I guess it's the
well,
people around you and your natural thirst for knowledge. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's in a way I sort of answered that already, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's constantly trying to better things that either that we already have,
Yeah.
or create something new, or I'll talk to a client and they'll give me an idea of, wow, that would be really great if
They
we
can do
had this
this.
capability to solve this problem.
Sure. So
So
that
it's
opens the door
always
for you, right?
yeah, exactly. It's a matter of, trying to solve problems that people have, and what is a good way to go around that. Whether it's
Yeah.
autonomous agents, which is something I think you'll start hearing more about.
Yeah.
People are
Correct.
for instance, with AI, people are used to doing, a 1 or 2 line prompt and getting a response.
Yes.
In our case, most of the prompts that we actually use, our prompts sometimes go on for 2, 3 pages.
Yes.
And when you
Like
do
a chain,
that,
like a
yeah,
chain. Yeah.
no, it's not a chain. It's a lot more descriptive of what our need
Right.
is,
Right. You try
what it
the
is we're trying to
extra.
get. And the
Yeah.
more information you give the AI, we get a whole different level of response from those kind of prompts than you'll get from like a 2 line prompt.
Yeah. No doubt.
So
Yeah.
so
Garbage in,
yeah, I
garbage
mean yeah,
out.
yeah, well, I mean yeah, you may still get a pretty good response from what is ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and Meta,
Yeah.
and so on. But you do something where you give it a lot more detail, you'll get a much better response back.
Fair enough.
And in fact, we actually created something we call dynamic prompting, where once we have a particular prompt that we really like, it's sort of like a fill in the blanks where
Right. The next
maybe
level.
somewhere in the prompt it's something like for industry blank. Well, we have a form we that comes up, and we fill in the form with those variables that would appear in the prompt,
Yes.
and now we can make that a prompt basically apply to anybody,
Yeah.
any
So
type of
much.
industry or any type of situation, versus having to type the 3 pages over and over again. We don't need
Yeah.
to do that.
Fair enough. Tell us about a recent project or achievement. You've got so many that you're particularly proud of.
Well, maybe I'll rewind a couple years back first, and probably one of the things that we're proudest of is how many companies we saved from closing during COVID.
Yeah. Awesome.
And the reason for that was we utilized our technologies
So they can come online.
basically
Yep.
for lead generation and education. And in fact, one of the last companies that we saved, they had what was it, 38 employees, and was a family-owned business. Of the 38, like 22 were
Yep.
extended family, wives, husbands, girlfriends,
Yeah.
boyfriends,
Sure.
cousins, and so on. And our first meeting with them was, probably one of the most emotional meetings I ever had, because they basically were at the point where they decided to close the business. And we were
Yes.
sort of like, well, okay, we'll try to contact, Daniel. I forget exactly how they found us, or I think they were referred to us.
Uh-huh.
And the first meeting, half the people in the room were crying. I mean, it was
Right.
crazy. And but the quick end to that story is 2 months later, they were still open, up and running, and now they had 56 people. They actually grew during
Yeah, they're
COVID.
doing better than ever.
So they went from about to close the door, lock it, turn off the lights, to
Yeah.
growing.
Awesome.
And stories like that, I would say, is what we're really most proud of. But as far as technologies, there's quite a few that we recently unveiled. We have AI, special AI assistants you can actually video conference with, which is
Yes.
really wild. You can actually see them, they'll see you, you can talk to them, they'll talk back to you. Let's see, maybe I can put one of them behind me that you can sort of see. In fact, they can actually appear in a pop-up.
The Start AI avatar button.
And the other thing that's really neat about them is they can learn everything about your business, products, services. People can literally talk to them. Tell me about interactive video, less than 30 words. And also, they're multilingual, which is really cool.
Interactive video enhances engagement, personalizes experiences, improves retention, and boosts conversion rates for businesses.
Yeah, I don't know if you were if you were able to hear that. But now what's neat,
lovely.
Okay, good. So now what's neat about them is they're available 24/7.
Yes.
And also what sometimes happens with people is sometimes some people they might be a little shy about asking a question, or they're afraid if they ask something, like they'll look dumb, like they they don't know what they're doing.
Sure.
TV offers several innovative solutions that
let me shut them off there. And so on. And what's great with the AI assistants, there's no judgment. People can ask whatever they want. They're available 24/7. They can be multilingual. There's just so many advantages. They can actually, open up other web pages for you if need be, show videos, whatever the case might be. And also, we're working with some presenters that typically speak in front of thousands of people, and now we can make their knowledge available 24/7.
Fantastic.
And,
yeah. Also, you're doing. You just recently, I've come across a project. You were doing the metaverse, and you're doing all these rooms and virtual like a virtual trade shows, all that type of thing, right?
Oh yes, yeah. In fact, here actually, this is one of our metaverses for ourselves. This is not a background. I'm actually in one of our metaverses here.
Look at that, guys. Is that awesome?
And
you can
and
have your own room, guys. Like you can run a trade show, guys, from your lounge room.
Yeah, in fact, these are our breakout rooms.
Yeah, look at that, guys.
And I can show a bunch of videos if I want. We can have auditoriums and video screens. Here's something that's speaking of some new technology. Well, actually, this is a technology we've played with since the early 2000s, doing podcasts with AI assistants.
Yes.
And of course, it's grown over the years to more and more different type of capabilities. And so we can use our AI technologies to learn everything about your business, service, or products.
Yeah, and these three people can have a discussion about you, like almost like newsreaders having a chat about you, something like that.
Welcome back to the 411 from
Yeah, exactly. Or here, actually, let me bring up speaking of the metaverse, this was one actually we did about that. Let me just rewind it here.
For your business needs, digital trends and winning strategies. The 411 from View3D.tv is your trusted guide, keeping you up to date on technology's ride.
Welcome, listeners, to another exciting episode of the 411 from View3D.tv. I'm your host, Sarah, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of the metaverse. Joining me are my co-hosts, Emily and Brian. Hey, guys. Hey, Sarah. Hey, everyone.
Hello. Excited to be here.
Lovely.
Collaboration between View3D.tv and the 𝐒𝐨𝐿 network. They've created an interactive metaverse specifically for 𝐒𝐨𝐿 members. Brian, can you give us a quick rundown of what this means?
Absolutely, Sarah.
Imagine a virtual world where you can walk through 3D offices, attend meetings in virtual auditoriums,
Look
and
at that.
network
Look at
around
that. Yeah.
all from the comfort of your own home or office. That's essentially what View3D.tv and 𝐒𝐤𝐨 Network have created.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It
But
does.
how does this benefit businesses in practical terms?
Great question, Emily. One of the biggest advantages is enhanced remote collaboration. Brian, you've been researching this. What can you tell us?
Well, it's pretty impressive. This metaverse allows teams to collaborate in 3D spaces, making remote work feel more personal and engaging. Imagine walking through a virtual office, sharing presentations on a 3D screen, or brainstorming on an interactive whiteboard, all in real time.
Yeah. Well, here we get my
Pretty-
video back.
Pretty cool, guys. Tell me, Daniel, looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? You'll probably take us to Mars. You'll probably be up there with Elton, up in the sky somewhere.
Well, I think something that you'll start hearing more about is autonomous agents.
Yes, no doubt. Yeah.
So for instance, now
People are
most
just starting to
people-
grasp them now. They've got to understand the value of them, and the value is bloody awesome. Like, think of a 24-hour a day Q&A, guys. That just keeps on growing.
Yeah, because people, for instance, are used to doing a prompt and getting a response. An
Yes.
autonomous agent is more like you're giving an AI an assignment, and it keeps coming back to you with results.
Yes.
And that is incredibly powerful. Does amazing workflows for company growth, research, and so on. For instance, we set one up where we're doing research. Let's say if I'm doing research about a topic like cat veterinarians, and I can actually get results back from different social media sites and find out what some of the trending topics are. And one
Yes.
reason we do this, for instance, is when we create scripts for videos, and especially the interactive video pathways technology that we have. That blank page can be really intimidating, where it's like, okay, how do I start a script?
Yes.
And so we actually do research to find out, well, what should the script be? And what's really neat is when we get these results back, we maintain the link. So I can actually go, for instance, back to that original X post and see what was written, or to a news site and so on. And we can also get back all kinds of diagrams of how search terms relate to long tail words, and the list just kind of goes on and on and on. One of the most important things that we get in the report is the type of questions being asked, and that is golden content.
Yeah. Tell me, how can our listeners reach out and find out more about you and your wonderful work, Daniel? What's the best way?
Well, we're all over social media, but my direct email, or the direct email we can use, is info at view3d.tv. That's VIEW, the number 3, D like Daniel.
Up on the screen.
TV.
Yeah, there is on the screen, guys. And like I said, Daniel's always up for a chat. And if this confuses you guys, as it does people like me, the older generation, if it confuses you at all, reach out and Daniel will explain it to you in simple layman terms. And happy to spend time with you, give you demonstrations, and mention the business guru. And he'll look after you price wise as well, because his prices are already pretty sharp, guys, compared to what's out there. Believe me. And Daniel, before we wrap up, tell us a fun fact about yourself. I know a few, but tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
Actually, I have a musical background playing classical piano, and I'm a huge animal lover. In fact, I'm here in the woods, and I get lots of visitors that come by. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's some. I put some pics in here.
Lovely.
I asked
Wow.
them to
Is that
stand up
what,
and
is that
sit, so
what
I
they
get-
call in America? They call a raccoon.
Yes, yeah, a raccoon. Yeah. So I have a fox den in the backyard, and
A raccoon is he similar to someone in the squirrel family, Daniel? As such? Sort of?
I don't think they're in the squirrel family, but
No? Yeah,
but
to me, he's in the squirrel family. He looks like a bit of a dark-eyed squirrel.
and I have deer, and I have lots
Wow.
of animal life here. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love aerobatics and aircraft. Nothing like an inverted takeoff in the morning to wake you up.
Yeah, no doubt. No
Pull
doubt.
those G forces.
Yeah.
And
Lovely.
And I'm a big sci-fi person, which is probably no surprise being in the tech field. But actually, I love content in all genres.
Yeah, you must laugh when you see some of the things from 20 and 30 years ago that are now true today, like Dick Tracy talking to his watch.
Oh yeah, and like Star Trek, basically showing so much of what actually happened in the future.
Yeah, it's funny. Some of these guys are ahead of their time. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap it up now. This has been Stars on Spotlight with the lovely Daniel. And guys, if you want to come on the show, we've got a few spots left for this year, coming very close to Christmas. We've got a few spots left next week, some on Tuesday and Thursday, my time. I'm in the Philippines, and if you're in America, it'll be Mondays and Wednesdays your time. But please feel free to reach out. Love to make you famous and put you all across the web, just like Daniel. And we're about to wrap it up. Daniel, any last words, buddy?
Oh yeah, let me just give out my calendar meeting link is view3d.tv/meet-me. Hopefully that makes it easy to remember. So
one more time, Daniel.
Yeah, view3d.tv/meet-me. And also you can see behind me, a lot of our info or QR codes.
Pretty simple stuff, guys. Plus, go to YouTube, guys, and look for him, and you'll see all his social media links on YouTube and some pretty interesting stuff. And like I say, he's a very, very interesting guy. One of our most interesting guests we've had for months, and he's right up there, guys. And if you want to get up and top of technology and on top of the game in your business, reach out to Daniel, and he'll help you achieve that. He'll move heaven and earth to get you a result. Thanks very much for being on the show today, Daniel.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No trouble at all.